All right, so what we're going to look at today is just how to create Microsoft Forms survey. So the Microsoft Forms survey we're going to be using will then be from our design. So from looking at the screen, so my suggestion is, so whatever study that you're doing, you have to have your study on a piece of paper on the side. Either it's written down or typed out or on a notepad, but you have to, because what you want to do on Microsoft Forms, you just want to implement the types of questions. So there's different types of questions, and we're going to look at all the different types of questions, starting from a single select option question into a drop down question into multi select if you want to select multiple responses, as well as looking at a rating question and a ranking question. So those are the questions that you might mostly use for your own questionnaire as well. So it could be for a research study, for academics, or research for business. But in essence, Microsoft Forms, if you have a Microsoft account that you're paying for, you have to be using Microsoft Forms to your best ability, because it also allows you to get the data back and it's quite intuitive. So this is our example of a study. So we called our study Student Perceptions of Campus Life at Your University. So you can just enter your own university. So if you want to go on to forms, you can then just select new form over there, and then it will give us a new form. Then what we're going to do next is then to actually give it a name. So we're going to go into our title form before we start. We're going to just copy and paste our name, then description. You can just say this survey examines student perceptions of campus life. So yeah, that'll be our description. So to be able to see how this looks, you can just go to preview. So it'll say there's the student, the title of the survey. It will also give us the description, and then it will address the person that you're sending to. So if it's an email, it will then address them by their name. So what we first want to do is to start with the first question. So the first question, going back to our question, remember, it's great if you already have your question set out, and then our first question will be a choice, because this one says, what is the current year of your study? So response options: first year, second, third, fourth, postgrad, or other, if they have any other years, if there are. And then it's a choice, and we want it to be a drop down. So we're going to come here and say choice. Then we copy and paste our question title. So every question needs to have a title. Question title, and then we have response options. So we're just going to add two response options, or maybe three, just to show you how to add a third one as well. First and second. Okay, and then add another option. We click on that. It says, and then we say third year. We won't add the others. You can always add them, but we can add other. So if you click on this, add other, so that it gives us an other. And then if you go down here, these are settings of a question below this line. Here it says multiple answer or required. Multiple answer means the person can select more than one option, but logic, us as the researchers, we know there's no way you can be both in first or second year. So you really have to be either one or. So it's a one option. And is this question required? If I click on required, it means they can't skip the question. They have to answer the question, which is what we want actually. So we're going to make sure that we click on that so that they can be able to answer the question. So if we preview this question, remember we said it's a drop down, but if you preview it, you see now it's just showing us, yes, single select, we can select, or other, you can type something, but we want it to be a drop down. So we can now go back to the question settings by clicking on this again, clicking those three dots and select drop down. So this has now turned into a drop down question, but it's still option. If you go preview, as you can see here, it says select your answer. Now it's a drop down. I can select second year or other, then I can type other. Cool. So now let's go to the next type of question. So the next type of question, what faculty are you registered in? So now we're just going to copy and paste this. We're not going to make this a drop down. We're going to make this a single select option. So now single select choice. this is our question title. And we're just going to include 2 faculties under the options, this and that. And then the next one, engineering. Okay, then we can just add an other just to show us. So it's not a drop down. We didn't select drop down. We just made it a normal kind of single select. It's not a multi select. If we click on preview, these are similar types of questions in terms of options, but we made this one a drop down, but we made this one so that you can select, as you can see here on screen. Cool. Now we have 2 types of questions. Now we move on to the third type of question that we want to look at. We want to look at a rating scale. So this one says, how would you rate the cleanliness of a campus facilities, for example, classrooms, bathrooms, etc. So now we want to add a new question. This one is a rating. So we're going to click on rating, copy and paste your title, then we want it to be a star, it is a star. So if you click on this, there's different types of icons that you can use, but that would depend on your question type. For example, if you want them to give a thumbs up, but if you want them to flag, if it's a danger, maybe doing wildlife danger, something, if people are rating 5 flags, it means it's a danger. So it changes the type of analysis you're going to be doing. It's not positive anymore, it's negative. And then you can also change how many stars you want, up to 10. So we want it to be stars because it's a positive. So if they rate 5 star, it means it's good. 4, also, I mean, great if it's 5, and then good, it's good. Then middle is like neutral. Cool. So we've looked at rating. Now we're going to look at the next one, which will be, so this one is similar to the others, is choice. We want a ranking question. So we're going to say rank the following campus facilities based on how useful they are to you. So with 1 meaning most useful. So they need to rank and make sure the one that is most useful is at the top. So new question here, we're going to go to ranking. Click on ranking, copy and paste our question. Then we give our options. We're going to put 3 options, campus labs. Then next, we're going to say library. And then just the third option, we can just say Wi-Fi access, which is what we all love, right? Cool. So this one we wanted to also be required. They can't skip the question. So let's go and see our preview. So our preview now, it has our stars there. Then now it has this ranking question. So let's say students value the Wi-Fi the most. They can literally click anywhere and drag this to the top. Now Wi-Fi becomes number 1. Computer labs, say library is number 2. You can just drag it there into the order that is needed. So great thing here, you can see over there, it's computer. You can also see it how it's going to look on mobile. So people can also fold this in and on mobile. You can drag it down on the app. So it's a great tool to actually use, because I mean, we've done this, and now you've done the different questions where you can actually see them on a mobile app or a computer type. So we then going to look at our last type, which is a multi-select. So it's also, I mean, it's also the same type of question to these ones, but let's just create it. Let's go back over here to our questions, create a new question, and say choice. And then we're going to say, which of these brands do you like the most for maybe beverages? And then what we're going to do, we're going to say Coke, or like Coca-Cola. We can say here maybe Pepsi, which other brands? Let's say Miranda, just an example. Then you can say here blah blah. You then need to write the correct thing. Okay, we just want to show, remember, we haven't been selecting how to answer. So now we're going to select on how to answer. So here you can limit how many options people can select. We don't want to limit. You could have drank all of them, even including the blah blah. So now you can go to your preview for question 1. So this is how the final survey would actually look, where you have your title, Ours is student perceptions of campus life at your university. The survey examines, which is the description, so that when someone is filling it in, they know what it's all about. It would then say hi, addressing whoever it is, if they have the email and name attached to it. When you submit this form, the owner will see your name and address. So you can also set this to anonymous as well, but it depends. If it's a study from university, I guess it's okay. So what is the current year of study? They can select third year, which faculty, engineering, or you can say other. How would you rate bathrooms? I'll give it a 4. Then what am I rating as the top? I'll say Wi-Fi access. Then which brands do you like the most? I like Coke, maybe. I also like the blah blah. Just the two. So I've selected now my survey. So I can then just say submit, and then you receive it back as data. But let's also look at how it looks on a mobile app. So that's what's great. If you have a Microsoft account, you have to be using this. Whereby now it's similar to the same way it was, but now someone can select it on their mobile app. As you can see over here, I'm in engineering, first year. First year, am I happy? Yeah, I'll say I'm happy up at the toilets. I really love the library because maybe I'm not used to the Wi-Fi, but I guess no Wi-Fi will take number one. Then which brands do I like? Blah blah, Miranda. And then I can submit. So what happens after someone submits is that you then the owner. So this sits in your Microsoft account. So if you're paying for account or from your student account, of a Microsoft or from your work account, you can go to forms and you can create forms and you can collect it via a link. You can collect your data. So let's just see over here. You can then go to collect responses. You can collect your response using a short link where you're just gonna copy this link, or you can do it as a QR code as well, or you can embed it onto a website. So, and then you can send it to other people as well. So yeah, those are the ways. And then once people fill it in, it comes back as data that you can then analyze as survey data. So I'm also going to drop in the description another video that you can check out that helps you to analyze survey or questionnaire data using Excel, then translating that into a presentation onto PowerPoint. Hope you enjoyed this and it really helped you. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, stick around to see more about, tools within research and different theories, especially now that we're going into, the digital world. We'll also look at different AI tools as well. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and yeah, stay warm wherever you are. Cheers.